Hello friends, welcome to Stock Market Week Ahead. I'm Aditya from Mostly Bearish. Last week, we looked and analyzed NIFTY and 4 other stocks, right? Last week I had specified properly that 12,000 is going to be a resistance for a NIFTY, and if certain level is broken, I am expecting NIFTY to fall to levels of 11,500. 11,500 did not come, right? But we saw a drastic fall on Thursday over 2.4%, which made spot Nifty reach around 11,661.30. Well, now the week is over, but I still have a view that there might be some more fall. We will cover this in the second half, right? Now, last week I had spoken about 4 stocks. Let us look at it, how they reacted and which actual situation played. The link to my previous video, previous week's video is given in the description, so you can watch that as well later to understand what my analysis was. Right now, we are going to look at which scenario played out and how it played out. So let's get to it. So first of all, let's start talking about Nifty itself. Now, these are the 5 trading sessions which happened, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And this was the last week. I had specified that 12,000 is going to act as a resistance. Now, if you see this here, 12,000 is complete resistance and there is no closing above 12,000. Now, the main reason behind this is when the market moves up so drastically, there will be profit booking. There will be people who are holding long positions from below. They will be closing their position. So when you want to become a trader, you need to understand, you need to have a perspective of about how someone might start booking profits and even entering short positions which may act as a resistance. So 12,000 for me was an extreme resistance. Now that worked well for me. Now the second part which I had spoken of was if these levels are broken, the lower levels, I'm expecting there should be a fall. Now on Thursday, if you see, there was almost 2.43% fall, right? Now the week is over, but I will be talking about how Nifty may fall again in the second half of the video. So make sure you watch the whole thing and don't miss out. Now, the first stock that I spoke of was Ambuja Cement. If you see, the reason why I had selected Ambuja Cement was because of the strong rally. Now, the strong rally will either give us any kind of entry as a short position or long position, depending on how the whole stock the prices react. Now, one of the situation I completely told you that if these higher levels, now these are the 5 trading session of this week. So this was the last week where it had ended. I had specified if there is a closing above these highs, there are high chances that 243 to 245 levels can be reached. That was just here. This was 245 levels. But if you see, the prices went and touched 250 as well. So that is the whole power of a breakout, right? And this wasn't a false breakout because the closing was above the previous high. So as a trader, see, when I try to give an analysis, I also try to tell you what is the reason behind it so that you can understand better, right? You can use it in your analysis. Now, the next stock I spoke of was Bharti Airtel. I also specified that Bharti Airtel is a stock that I have looked at around 3 weeks back as well. Now, there was a great fall, and in one of the scenarios, I expected that if the lower levels are cleared, now if you see, these are the 5 trading sessions, the last 5 trading sessions. But here, this was like last week. The video is in the description. You can go watch it if you think, if you want to know exactly what I said as well. Now, in one of the scenario, I said if the lower levels are broken on closing basis, the fall will continue. Now, I also specified if there is any kind of a bad news, there will be a continuation of fall. Well, Bharti Airtel did not have a bad news exactly, but their subscription had increased, but not as much as they expected, right? Now, that might have been one of the reason why Bharti Airtel fell. The third stock is Dr. Reddy. I had specified it's been almost 3 weeks since I've been watching Dr. Reddy. Now, I had created a support and resistance somewhat like this. If these levels are broken, I expected the stock to come down. If these upper side are broken on closing basis, I expected upside. But if you see here, on Wednesday, the stock fell below the range which I had created. On Thursday, there was another fall. Now, on Friday, if you see, there is some covering. I'll tell you the reason why. The reason is this candle right here. This candle right here. If you understand that there was a sell pressure, but the stock went up, there was sell pressure, but then they couldn't fall, the stock couldn't fall below 5,000 level. Now here there is some kind of a buying, but I still expect that if these levels are broken, this gap will get covered. If these levels are broken, this gap is going to get covered, is what my expectation is what my view is. Right? These are not calls, these are not suggestions, these are not recommendations. I am telling you this is just my analysis so that you can understand as a trader how to analyze. Now the final stock that I spoke of was HPCL. Now HPCL, my whole intent of this was that there is a huge fall. But I cannot disregard that there is a huge fall where there might be another fall also, which I did not disregard. So I had given 3 scenarios for HPCL. So one of the scenario was that these are the 5 trading sessions. When I saw this going 2.95% up, sorry, the original expectation was that the stock might see a bottom out here, but we cannot consider that a complete bottom out, and I expected somewhere around 180 to 185 level to be reached, or the stock between that range. But the next day, that is Monday itself, when the stock covered the whole thing, when it got sold into itself, my scenario 3 which I had spoken of, that if the lower levels are broken, if the lower levels here are broken, the stock will see a continuation in the fall, and that is what happened. The fall continued. Now on Friday, I want to draw that resistance, the support level again, which might have become a new resistance, right? If you see on Friday, the stock did see some up move, but it hasn't closed above the levels here. So unless the stock does close above that, I will not consider buying it as of now. If it finds that as a resistance, probably it might play around those areas itself or see another fall, right? Only if the stock does a closing something around here in green color, that is when I will consider to look at it to see some kind of upside finally, right? Okay. So I hope you guys have understood my levels on Nifty and what I had looked at different stocks and why I have different scenarios. I look at the prices, right? I am open. I'm a trader, so I am not extremely biased to any kind of a trend. I am open to understanding what the prices are doing. And based on that, keep my analysis also open to see which actual scenario is playing out. Before we get into analyzing for the coming week, I would like to make it clear that these are not recommendations. These are just my views, my analysis, which I use. Right? I do this mainly because a lot of people want to become traders, but they do not know how to analyze. I just want to help them, and I want to create a mostly bearish community which does that, which learns on their own, understands and sees the reality of the market. Right? I am not a person who believes in paid courses. This is my personal choice because I'm a self-taught trader. I have done everything. I'm an engineer by profession, but now I trade. Right? And I've chosen this as a profession. I also give out live updates on my Telegram channel. The link is given in the description below. So I have nothing to hide, and I'm not scared of hiding anything, mainly because I want to create a community which has trust and which has faith also, because I am going out live. First, I take my own position, right? I don't give out any calls, but I just give out screenshots try to analyze what is going to happen right here. And I also tell if there is a breakout or a breakdown, which might help you in understanding the movement, right? Now, so do not take any kind of position based on my views. I'm again specifying these are my views for my understanding and for my positions. So just watch it to try to understand how analysis is done. Let's get into the second part, where we talk about what may happen the coming week, my expectations. Now, let's get back to Nifty. first of all, my whole analysis on Nifty is going to be that 12,000 is still a resistance. It's a very strong resistance. Unless broken, I will just keep looking at 12,000 being one of the biggest resistance. But when the prices are approaching 12,000, I will keep my options open to see how the prices are moving. Are there chances of a breakout of 12,000? If 12,000 is broken out, yes, there will be a good up move, right? So I'm going to be keeping my eye open when the prices are reaching 12,000. Right now they are somewhere around 11,762. This is a spot chart. Now, logically, when the prices have moved here, they have flattened out and they have seen some kind of a fall. Now, if the prices do move up somewhere around here, what I am expecting is 11,800, 11,850. If they see some kind of a resistance or closing in red, there are chances that I'm expecting this to fall again. Okay, fall in the sense even come here to the lower levels which it tested. But if these levels are cleared, if these are closed, the prices move below these closing levels, I'll just talk to you about spot 11,661. So round off 11,660. Based on how the prices are moving, I will expect this to fall down even further to 11,600 to 11,550 levels, right? Now, the whole expectation is 12,000 acting as a resistance. Lower levels, I'm expecting somewhere around here. If these are broken, else the Nifty will be in this range. Okay. Now, the second thing is, now the first stock that I'm going to be looking at is ACC. The reason behind ACC is the stock has seen a great up move. Now, it's been playing somewhere around these levels and lower levels here. My first scenario is, if there is any buying power and the move hasn't completed from the lower levels, and if the stock closes above these levels here, I am expecting 1,600 levels to be tested as well. But if it becomes range bound here itself and sees some consolidation, the stock will be moving in this square itself, right? Only if closing is below these levels, I will expect this to come down, test the 10-day exponential somewhere around here first. If that is also broken, then some kind of a down move to somewhere around these levels here. That is the expectation on ACC. But I will keep a watch on seeing if the highs are broken to see if the prices can be moved higher. HDFC is the next stock that I'll be looking at. Now, if you see, there was a great rally in HDFC. This happened last week. This is one of the reasons why also Nifty was holding extremely strong. That is last week. Now, if you see, HDFC has become range bound. It's in a range. It's consolidating. My whole analysis is going to be like this. If it is going to be in this range itself, it will continue the consolidation. Okay. But if on closing basis, I see any kind of a up move, any candle which closes somewhere around like this in a green color, there are high chances that the highs might be tested. If that is taken out, there is another another rally which can happen, right? I will be monitoring this on daily basis to see how the stock movement is. But if the lower levels are on closing basis, if there is a fall somewhere around here, something like this, right? The closing has to be like this. There might be some downside. I don't expect an extreme downside, but some downside where it might test a certain level but try to come back to the range which it has created as of now. The third stock I'm going to be looking at is Tata Consumer Products. I don't know if I should consider this as a proper head and shoulder pattern. If you see this here, this is flattened, this is the head, this is again flattened, then fallen, right? And it's fallen in such a way that it looks like a flattened out head and shoulder. But now I'm going to try to make my analysis a little bit better, where I create, now there is a range which it is moving in. This is a range where Tata Consumer Product is moving. If on closing basis, the range is broken on the top side, like this, somewhere around that, I will expect 500 to be tested, and even if it goes above 500, 505, 510 can be tested. But if these lower levels are broken, I will expect the same move around like this, where these levels are broken. Probably the stock will create a new low somewhere around 460 to 55 if the lows are broken. So I'm going to be watching out for that on Tata Consumer Products. The final stock that I'll be looking at is Titan. Now, Titan also has seen some fall at this range here. Unless the highs are broken, I will not go long in Titan. These highs need to be broken, and how the stock move has to happen is it shouldn't happen in a single day that the prices start moving extremely fast. If slowly the prices start coming up, that will give me some kind of a confidence that yeah, there are chances that Titan can go up higher to 1,300, not this week, probably next week. But if the lows are broken on a short-term basis, if these lows are broken, I will select Titan for my intraday, because this might give a lower closing where it might probably give a good pointer for my scalping trade or intraday trades. That is the main reason I will be looking at Titan. So I hope all the analysis is clear and you got an insight about how I look at charts and the reason why I look at certain companies, or even Nifty, how I look at Nifty itself, right? So try to analyze on your own also, try to look at your own stocks, try to see, draw your resistance and support so that you understand how traders actually trade, right? Theory, I can give it to you anytime, right? I don't, theory already, candlesticks. If you want to learn candlestick, I'm leaving the link in the description. I've covered candlesticks. If you're new to trading and you want to understand candlestick, I've covered all the different types of candles. I will be working on indicators and oscillators as well so that you guys learn for free, but practically you need to work on yourself. Join the Telegram channel to get live updates from my side. I will never give out any kind of call. So this is my policy. I want to create a community of self-made traders, right? And if you want to become a trader, you need to have that passion, dedication throughout. You need to know, you need to understand prices and how is it going to happen. You watching the market. I can't tell you what is going to happen. I'm going to give you only my view. If you want to really become a trader, try to understand the concept of trading and emotional control and psychology. So keep watching the market. Do look at the price fluctuations, see what, try to understand how supports and resistance are created. This will give you an edge in your trading in long term. Before I end the stream, I would like to say one thing. If we are here or not, the market will always be there, right? So don't hurry to enter the market. When you enter, make sure you enter strong. Even though you enter strong, market will still teach you a lot of new things, right? So make sure to subscribe if you want more updates from my side. Any content related to stock market will be provided on Mostly Bearish platform. So don't forget to like this, do subscribe and also comment if you feel like. Thank you so much for watching.